Hi, welcome back to Just Go podcast. I'm Maria Pagas, and today we have two lovely guests from South Korea, Li-Sandra and Carmen. May you explain why did you go to South Korea? Who are you? What you studied there?
Okay, so I'll start. I'm Li-Sandra. I study in EBS. I study impactful entrepreneurship. I'm a second year student. And I took my exchange to South Korea, specifically Daejeon, SolBridge International Business School.
And you, Carmen?
I study in EBS, the Entrepreneurship and Business Administration in Estonian program. And I went to the same university as Li-Sandra. We went together, and there I specialized or focused on finances and business overall.
Cool, cool. Why did you choose this particular country? It's like so far away, and there's like visa, and then there's this medical issues with the insurance. Like, why?
For me, it has been one of like the budget countries that I really like, budget list countries that I really want to visit. And as I started learning about Asian cultures back in high school, I knew that if I get this chance, I'm probably gonna go somewhere in Asia. So I was in between China, Korea, and Japan, and decided to go to Korea because that's what my language skills were able to, I guess, kind of face more than Chinese and Japanese. So.
Okay, and you?
I actually wanted to go to university in South Korea, not come to EBS, but it was very hard application process, and I needed to send like email the letters physically there and everything like that. And because I went to the EBS high school also, I knew that there is the possibility to go to South Korea to exchange, and I was like, that is the easiest way to get there.
Okay. But what actually motivated you both to go to exchange? A lot of people don't want to go to exchange, or like even we have this mobility gap in some courses, and people are still not willing to go. Why? Why did you go? What is the motive?
So in my course, actually, I think we had the highest numbers of people who actually went abroad. For us, they always from the start of the first year, they always like emphasized on like going abroad and seeing the world and understanding how things work in other countries as well. So I think that was one of the biggest motivations. The first of all, that we were always very aware that this thing is kind of happening and we have this possibility, so why not take it? And also all of the chances you get from there, you get good connections, you see the world, you probably will learn about new cultures, and it's very it's beneficial for you in every aspect.
Okay.
For me, in my course, I think it was the lowest because there were like 5 people who went in the end only. And I actually went to exchange before high school, and I have the traveling mindset, and I want to experience to live in all different parts of our world.
Okay. Cool. Maybe about the university more where you attended. What kind of academic atmosphere is there? Is it different? Is there like, are they stricter? Are the teachers nice or not? How do they grade you? Are they really harsh or not?
In my opinion, the teachers, they were very international. The faculty itself was already very international. So when I had the lecturers, I had very good ones, and I also had not so good ones. It's just my personal preference and what I'm used to. So for example, I really enjoy more practical way of studying. So actually doing something and getting to put my hands like and try things out. That's how I learn. While some of the subjects that I took were very, very theoretical, which for me is already kind of like, oh, like, why am I here? Like, can I just like already do something? Like, can I go? Like, I don't want to read this book. I want to do something. I want to learn it through like doing. And with these like lecturers in like that atmosphere, like very academic and like theoretical, I did not do well. And that's yeah. But it's really depends on the lecturer. I think there's like a wide range of like different. For example, I took kind of public speaking, but it was English class, but it was slow, like we just like spoke. Like we had those one person presentations in front of class. We had to present and just push ourselves out of our comfort zone. So this was more practical, which I really enjoyed. And then I also had some other classes that were more practical.
Compared to EBS, I think like it was easier for me because it was easier to pass courses, in my opinion, less work and everything like that, because they only have like midterms and the exams. They don't have tests or homework like that, like in EBS, because it's like in EBS some weeks you have like in every lecture you have a test or something. There you won't have it.
Everything at once, as they say here.
Yes. And other thing I would like to bring up is the grading system. There is like the grading curve, which there is a percentage who can get like which grade, depending on how many people there is in the class.
It's like very confusing, especially for us. If we like,
really
we have like grown up in a system that if you're worthy an A, you're gonna get an A.
Yeah.
Like it's fine, but that their grading system is based on a curve, so it's it's very confusing. It took me until the end of semester to actually kind of get like a hang of like
Curve.
what do they even mean. But yeah, it's a curve, so there's a certain percentage of people that can get an A. Like for example, was it 20% or something
I think
of the class?
So only 20%.
20% of the class can get an A. And then another 30% can get a B.
So it's like competitive
And it goes,
environment.
yeah, it's very competitive. So
Okay, really interesting.
and it makes
Even
the
if you're
atmosphere.
worth, you won't. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, you spoke that what you like and what you don't, but were there any highlight courses, the courses that you would highlight that we should have here in EBS, or that were it's not like they have to be here, but they were so amazing back there, so that you would wish that we have something like that, or like a teacher like that here? Were there something like that?
I personally, I took 2 law classes. So I got like, it was my first experience with like law, because here in EBS, we have like very small touch up with law, especially in my course, which I'm thankful for. But there, we went more in, and we also got those like Asian and like international law perspectives. So it was very interesting. And the teacher itself was, very, I feel, open-minded. For example, in that school, oftentimes, if in EVS, like, they're very open, like, yeah, you can use like ChatGPT and all of that, right? Then there was certain teachers who literally told me, like, I'm gonna fail you if I see, like, one similarity to, like, ChatGPT or something like that. Which I'm not saying, like, is totally bad, but, you know, you could be more open-minded about it nowadays.
Of course.
But with that teacher, like, during the first lecture, he was already like, you know, like, you can just, like, with the definitions and all of that, just go to ChatGPT. Like, you're gonna do it faster and more efficient. So
That's true.
yeah. So he was very open-minded, and overall, he had this amazing ability to kind of tie his everyday life and his, I guess he was working at the law firm in US, like in many of them, and then also working in Asia. He was, like, able to tie everyday cases to the things that we were currently studying. So it was more eye-opening, and actually seeing like, oh, this thing is used for this or this and this, because, you know, we can see
More practical for
yeah,
you,
more,
so
yeah,
you understood it better,
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
For me, there was one course what I really liked. It was entrepreneurial finance, and we took there basically we looked at startup businesses from investor perspective, and identify if we should invest in the startup. And I find it actually like really useful if you want to start yourself a startup, because then you will know what the investors are
they're
looking
waiting for. Yeah.
And I think EBS really needs one course like that.
Yeah, that would be nice, so that we actually know like what they're looking for. Well, we have something like that, this venture capital and private equity, but it's not quite the same. So, okay, we've heard that the huge difference with grading system. Was there anything significant difference with EBS in something else?
I would say that the difference was that you can miss certain amount of lectures before you fail the class. It was like 30%, what is a lot. It's basically 5 weeks, but you can miss out of 15. But there is still that difference, and you still always are reading like how many
classes have you missed?
Yes.
Okay. But how hard or easy was it to actually connect with people in your classes? Like in some countries, the people are really reserved and they don't want to speak with you, and then some countries are really like, yeah, come in our group, like let's be friends. How was it in South Korea?
In SolBridge, especially because it is very international school, I think 70% of the students are actually international students.
Oh.
So connecting with them was significantly easier, I think, due to all of us having similar experiences with, coming there and being confused and having similar problems. So there was always something to bond over and find like, well, where are we familiar and so on. So it was easy actually. But if we talk about locals, it can be more of a tricky situation, although I do think that people in Daejeon are actually quite open-minded due to it having, like, I guess, few schools there, like universities.
They actually have, I think, 23 universities in Daejeon, and most of them also have the exchange programs.
So there's like a good amount of international people in Daejeon as well. Okay. So I think the people themselves are already open-minded about it, and as long as you like show respect and like actually show that you're interested in the culture and you respect what they're doing, then you won't have much of an
okay, but let's bump back to academic. This last question, because I know this is not the funniest part of your exchange. Academic challenge during the workload. Was there more to study? Was there less? Because you've said that there were not like homeworks, but there were these tests. Did you like have maybe presentations? Was the workload okay, or was it like too overwhelming or too easy?
I think it was okay, but at the same time, there was this midterm, and sometimes the teachers kind of placed their classes before and after midterm for that midterm, so it was very confusing. And I had like almost a month period that I was so like only focusing on midterm preparation, so I was up for like hours, like all-nighters, all of that, just to like complete assignment. But before that, there was not much, so there wasn't much to do. But then the midterms come and they totally take you down.
One stressful period.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it depends what courses you take. I took one course where I wrote like 80 pages of business plan in the end. And
on that.
And that was like a lot of work, but my team was also lifesaver.
Oh, great to have a great team. You know, when you're alone in the team doing the work, that's an ass.
Yeah.
Okay, but we have now spoke about academics quite for a long time. Let's maybe move on something more funny, more interesting, more needful for you maybe. How easy was it to get the visa for South Korea? I know that if you're not in EU countries, you have to have in like health insurance too. How did you get it? Was it okay? Was it easy? Was it hard?
Okay, so with the visa itself, the process is quite easy. Korea is quite digitalized, so we are very familiar as Estonians. We are quite familiar with it, so it wasn't like too difficult to do it. But there is something that you need to like plan few months ahead and like book an actual appointment at the consul and or like
embassy
consul. What the hell? Yeah, at the embassy you have to book it like few months before if you actually wanna, you know, like because you have to submit your stuff there and like check it if everything's good. But other than that, I think it was quite easy because you can do the application online and all of that. So it was convenient and easy.
One thing about visa is that nearest embassy is in Finland.
Yeah, so be ready to take a trip.
Oh,
over
already
there.
tripping before the big trip.
Exactly.
Cool, I guess. But health insurance?
Well, health insurance we got from school, which we paid like with the invoice of like the dormitory and like other stuff. But
sorry, do you know how much is it in euros so that the listeners can
How much
approximately
was it?
know?
I just know that before we went, they asked for if you're gonna stay at the dormitory. The invoice was about 1,400.
1,400 euros. Okay.
Yeah, and that included the dormitory and health insurance and food in the dormitory once a day, and like
okay, so it
a
was
lot of
not
stuff.
only health
So it was
insurance.
just only not, yeah, but it had like a lot of things in there, but I don't remember the exact number. Was it like?
No,
It was
It wasn't
something
that
about
much. It was
that,
like
yeah.
70. I think it was 70 if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. Like 74.
And it's
dollars?
like you pay one time and that's all. But
Mm.
there is also the national health insurance.
That they tell you that you have to pay, but if your stay is less than 6 months, you technically don't.
Well, that's the thing that you have to like research beforehand, because you have to have a certain amount like health insurance
Yeah.
from somewhere else. But
Okay.
health insurance, I will talk about it a
Yeah,
bit.
talk about it.
Basically, a first month it is 100 euros. So
Was
It's
it only 100? Oh yeah, 100
yeah, it was,
euros.
yeah.
I was thinking
and
once.
that's for 2 months basically. The first
Okay.
month you are there, and the next month you pay a month advanced.
Yeah.
And you can pay it only in cash in convenience stores. You can pay it online also, but I tried and I failed.
Do you want to talk about the paying? You basically get like an envelope with the invoice like sent to you.
Okay.
And then you take the envelope, you have like the paper that folds like whoop, and then there's like a QR code over there, and you go with the paper to like a CU or a E-Mart and be like, I wish to pay this, and then they scan it, and then you have to give it in like the money.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
but it
That's
has to be in
something.
like cash, and it's kind of sometimes it wasn't difficult to take out, but not all ATMs don't accept foreign cards,
Yeah.
so you have to find like a
And
good.
then you have to pay percentage for the foreign
exactly.
card. Which is it
Mhm.
big there? I
It
know
depends
that-
on ATM, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, because I
It's
know that
like-
in Estonia, when they come, they don't want to withdraw money because they say that the percentage is huge.
How much was it? I think I paid like for
It's
for
like-
50 euros. I paid like 6 euros or something.
Okay, it's still
It
quite a
was
lot.
like
It's still quite a
yeah,
lot.
and there is actually ATM in school.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the best rate, but there is one in school. So
It's just our school is small. Actually, Taltech, for example, has an ATM too. So lucky them.
Why why doesn't this business school have an ATM?
That was my question when I saw it. I was like, "You're not a business school, but okay." So as I understood, you lived on campus and you've got food once a day in campus,
Yes.
and then the other times, how did your dorm look like?
Oh.
Did you have a kitchenette in there? Did you have your own toilet for you too? Was it big?
well, we have a bit of a story with
unpack all
dormitory. We had our own room. Like there were shared rooms, like 2 people per room, and there was a private toilet and showering space.
Well, that's great.
Oh,
at
and
least.
I think it's worth mentioning, if people are a little bit more familiar with like Korean bathrooms, then most of the times you get like a wet room, which means you have like a shower without a curtain or like a separation.
Yeah.
But in the dormitory, because it was, I guess, for international students, there was an actual like a showering area with like a glass in
Okay.
front, so your
More
water wouldn't get everywhere.
Western.
More Western.
And about the food in the dormitory, there were incidents that people were throwing up and like kind of having food poisoning after eating there. So I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay.
Like,
But
yeah.
did you have a kitchenette in your room?
There was
so
a
that you
no,
could-
no, in a room. There was a kitchen area in the dormitory. Like the dormitory it's a very big building.
Yeah.
There's like a library type of thingy, a study room, and then there's like a kitchen. But with the kitchen, you have to book it 24 hours before,
and you
and
can.
it's open only like 5 until like
No, it was 7 until 10.
7 until 10.
Oh, so you could do this supermarket videos for yourself in the Korea. I love to watch them. You know that people go to 7-Eleven and just eat in there.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
We-
But now I
That was our
understand why
dinner.
there's so much people doing them because this is a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but as we're touching upon the food, how was the local food? Do you have any favorites?
Oh my god. Yes.
There is one place, like, there was McDonald's, but there was one better place, which was Mom's Touch.
Oh, yeah. It's like a Korean burgers.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
like chicken burgers and drumsticks and wings and stuff, and it was so good. Just the other day I was missing it so much. I was like,
They also
I
had
want
the best fries.
Fries.
Yeah,
very
like
annoying.
you know what was very surprising in Korea. Like I don't think it's controversial or anything, but the potatoes in Korea don't taste like potatoes. That's the thing. Like
Okay.
it's very weird. And Mom's Touch was the only place that you can get like a slight taste of actual potato.
Potatoes from back home.
Mm-mm-mm.
But any Korean food?
Oh yes, for me personally, I love the national soup that they have, kukbap.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite one is sundae-guk, which is basically like a sundae, which is, I guess, to put it in easy terms, a blood sausage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like in a bone broth, and you can add like rice and all of that. Like it was my favorite thing. I miss it so much. Like the other day, I was watching pictures on my like phone and like
it was a good thing to eat after you went to a party.
Oh.
yeah, there's like this
Hangover cure.
Yeah, there's like a hangover soup as well. Like they usually
Oh.
serve it at like the kukbap
Okay.
places, so it's
What-
really nice.
Anything else? Or that's it? Because I know a lot of people they love kimbap or like
Kimbap, oh my god.
or they love like
Okay.
tteokbokki or like something like that. you
Yes,
know?
tteokbokki is good. Kimbap's also good. But what my, I guess, go-to meal was usually was the, how much was it in euro? Like 90 cents or like €1 and 30 cents, like a triangle kimbap.
Oh, yes.
And my favorite, because I guess it's like a Western favorite in general, but like with tuna mayo.
Tinamea, yeah.
It's so good.
Well, yeah, because right now there's a lot of fame for the like markets and Korean food, and I feel like it's going crazy. People love it. I love Korean food. That's like for sure, because when I did my exchange, then my best friends in France were South Koreans. So of course I only explored South Korean food in France. So which is weird. I know. Can you explain about like living expenses? How actually expensive is Korea? Like transportation, like food. Well, we know that triangle is 97 cents now, but something like if you need something like maybe essentials for you, like how much stuff costs
Well,
actually?
there is that shop called Daiso. We were just talking again another day about Daiso, how we want to go to Daiso.
Like the Daiso obsession is like real. Like it's so
Is
crazy.
this big cosmetic store?
No,
No?
it's basically you can buy anything there,
Yeah.
from like tools to build your house to the
Magic
furniture.
shop.
It's like a
And
magic store.
it's between 500 to 5,000 wons, which is
Yeah.
like
Like I guess like 60
gotta
cents up to like
How much is €1? How much one is €1?
I don't remember anymore.
I don't know, but it's
But,
you know what I did? I
five
just took the three zeros off. So
Oh, 3 zeros off. Oh, okay.
And
So
the
1,000 is like one.
around
basically
that, yeah.
it's a bit less. but
Rounded up. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was so cheap, and you went there to buy one thing, and you came out with like 10 things.
Like the first time we went there,
Yeah.
like it was our third day in the country, I guess, or something like that. And we came back like with a really big bag because our dormitory, it didn't have like a trash can.
Oh, so
Like
you had to buy everything.
we had to buy a lot of things just to feel slight bit more home. Like taking care
so you
of.
need some essentials.
Yeah.
But how much is like a dinner?
A dinner? No, actually, I think food outside is generally cheaper than in Tallinn. I think
It's a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper. So, for example, I mentioned kukbap. The kukbap was like 8,000 to 9,000 won, which is, I guess, like you could say like €5, a bit more. And then I also, if you go for like a simple kimbap or something, you can get away with like €3 and you're full and nice. Like,
More affordable for sure than here.
Yeah.
It's more expensive. Even for fries, you can pay it up to €9 in some places.
Yeah.
Okay. But did you do any like financial plans how you're going to waste your food? You get the stipendium, you get the dormitory, you paid for it already. How much was it? Like, did you like have a plan that this month I pay that much for living, that much for food, or you just went with the flow?
I actually I did both things because I knew I wanted to go to Japan before coming back to Estonia. So I wanted to leave some money for the trip. And The planning was I have 2 accounts, so I will transfer the money to another account, and there I took like every month like a certain amount, and if I needed more, I just took a bit more. But it was like
restricting yourself.
maybe like 200 euros a month I took there, and
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I'm very spontaneous. I just went with the flow, I guess. Not too good at the financial management. Working on it. But yeah, I think most of my money really, I spend it on food because I really took a part in the, the culture of eating out with your friends. And like actually with as the Asian culture is like food is really big thing over there. So I think it was my way of kind of learning about them and about their foods. I tried to taste a lot of different things. I went out with my friends to see and how, how the overall restaurants.
Have their culture influenced your daily life now somehow? What do you feel? Do you do something differently after going to South Korea?
The other day I had like a meeting with somebody, and they told me that I Crete, like I come from Asia. So I have like some body mannerisms that I have like copied and like owned. So they told me
that's mine now.
that is mine.
I'm still bowing when I'm like meeting
yeah.
someone.
Oh,
like even like a slight one, but I'm always like, oh, I did it again.
Yeah, it comes like it got so natural over there, and now it's like difficult to come out of it. I guess it's like more like okay, let's do it, like, because I don't know, why not?
Okay, but well, as we're already speaking about that, how easy or hard was it to adapt to their social norms? Because like I think that in that new environment of South Korea and Asia, they have different norms than we here.
I actually love Asian norms because you can smoke on the street, which is amazing. You don't have to walk behind someone when they are smoking. And the public transportation is also amazingly organized. Like you go in from one door, come out from another one.
Okay.
If you go to the subway, then there is like, you go to the side that the people can come out from the middle at first and everything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess the social norms, it's like really nice being there. I feel like it's overall well organized. I would say the traffic is a little bit too much for me as a European. Especially like here where the traffic is very well organized in a way, like there's like not too much speeding, at least like in city space. While there was few times I could have like gotten like definitely I would have got run over. Especially by the delivery man.
Yeah, the delivery man and
crazy.
taxi drivers were crazy.
They literally
they're triggered. I just think they're triggered there.
Like I went to catch a plane in Busan to go to Seoul, and it was like 5 a.m, and the taxi driver drove inside Busan with 130 kilometers per hour, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna die here.
Fast trip. I mean, you could have went from Busan to Seoul with taxi. Okay, but do you have any memorable experiences or events that you had there in the host culture? Maybe from the school side, can be like student council organized or whatever. Like, I don't know, something that the Koreans have that we don't have, maybe traditional.
Did you participate in anything like in the student council ones or?
I don't think so.
Yes, and you were in student council. You wanted to be, in student council. Were you in the end?
I wanted to be in student council or in clubs, but they don't. Their student council is very different from the EBS one, so I couldn't go there. But I could like join clubs, but the clubs were like, they were handpicking people, and oftentimes it was like if the leaders were like from Russia and Korea, they would pick only Russian and Koreans to go to the
but
clubs.
That's something that we had before, so we've changed. Okay, maybe interesting question. Did you learn Korean when you were there? Did you take any classes?
Yes, actually, one of the courses that we took together was Daily Korean. It was a nice course, I think. Although I did know everything we learned because I have like previous knowledge, but it's a good course to take if you have zero to little knowledge about Korean. The teacher was basically our classes were kind of given in Korean. I didn't hear her like speaking in English too much.
Yeah.
Only sometimes.
Okay.
But
So what's the favorite word of yours in Korean?
what was it? I don't have a favorite word. I just
don't have a
I
favorite
really enjoy talking with taxi drivers. Like it was my like my favorite experience. Like
So you
thing
speak
to do.
quite well then?
no,
So
I can just do it in situations where I know that nobody else can save me.
Okay, it's like last moment plan.
Yeah.
That's everything I need. Okay. But what did you do in your free time outside the university? What were the main activities you participated in? Were you going nuts shopping? Did you go museums, movies, bars, clubs?
Well,
What did you
I went to gym every day, but yeah.
And
Yeah.
I went to party with my friends, so we have two very different perspectives.
Yeah, and I also went to museums. Actually, Daejeon has really good museums. The art museum is really beautiful. I don't know if you went
No,
there.
I didn't. I didn't make it there. I'm so sorry.
And
Well, but
Yeah.
that's great. Now we have two different views, so you know. And what did you do, Li-Sandra? You went only partying.
No, I mean, I didn't go only partying. I partied the first month, and after that it was midterms, and then it was finals, so I couldn't party after that anymore. So I took
Fun
my
part.
all in the first month in September. I think I was out like for 4 weekends,
Okay.
and it was really crazy. Like the party culture over there, it's I would say it's a lot better than it is here in Estonia. I like the music more. I like the overall like how it was, like the vibes in the clubs. And I like the people. And
Okay.
it was a great place to practice the language,
Of course.
I would say.
the only thing about clubs and stuff was that they were smoking inside.
Oh,
So
yes.
sometimes you went to the club. One club was underground,
Yeah.
and they were smoking inside. And you went in, and you felt how
in
your
Estonia, they smoke in the clubs too, don't they?
No, but it
They
was
have
like
the-
cigarettes.
yes.
Yeah, cigarettes.
Oh,
inside
really?
the
They
clubs,
do?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Well,
not
maybe
that,
we go to different clubs then.
I think we'll go to different clubs.
Yeah. And it was basically you felt your eyes tear up because of the smoke. And
After the
That's where I
second
go,
weekend, you
usually.
get used to it.
Oh, okay. But were there any specific places or attractions? It
Okay.
does not have to be club. It can be bar. It can be museum. It can be park. Whatever.
Okay, you can-
What
well,
you recommend others?
in Daejeon, it was the one alcohol house, or what's the name in
there's
English?
You mean that we went together to
Yes.
eat the sausages? Okay.
Yes.
So in
Want to eat the sausages?
yes,
Wow,
it was
alcohol.
like it was so authentic. Like the sausages, they tasted like home. So it was very close to our dormitory. It's very small place. It's run by a woman who was really really nice, and it's called Surchip, which literally translates to pretty much like alcohol like place house. So
Okay.
so yeah.
And it's like it's the Korean culture. You can feel the culture. Like
Okay.
you watch the K-dramas and you see that they go to the
Yeah, like small places, like
Yeah.
actually how life is going.
Yeah.
Okay, but anything other?
And
other?
like when overall in South Korea, go to Busan to see the beaches, really beautiful, and colorful houses. And also in Seoul there were a lot of attractions like the N Tower. I actually walked up the hill, and I recommend walking up the hill because it's like it gives so much more to the experience than going by bus and waiting in the bus line to get on the bus first and
Okay, yeah.
everything like that. That was one of the most memorable things from Seoul for me. And Lotte World.
Not
Lotte World.
Lotte World, exactly. I was
In South Korea.
yeah, but it's not like
They
it's-
have
it's
like
different.
department stores
department
and,
stores
and like
yeah.
different product lines, and they have their own amusement park, and it's like the main amusement park
But it's
in
really big.
South Korea. They have one in Busan also, but I
Okay.
didn't go there. And go visit that, but not during Chuseok or during holiday because the lines will be 4 hours long.
No, but I think if you go to SolBridge, they actually during the orientation week you have the possibility to go with the orientation team that you have like been signed to. So it's really nice experience. But yeah, when it comes to like places, there's a lot actually what to visit. Like we said, Busan. And then Seoul as well. I guess these are the two basic ones, but I would say go look out like Jeonju, where the Hanok village is at. It's really beautiful, and if you
If you can go to Jeju, I didn't have the opportunity in the end to go, but I'm going back to South Korea to just go to Jeju.
Okay.
but when we come back to Daejeon, then I would like to have a little shout out to the party region where all of those clubs are at. I mean, there's still clubs that don't let in foreigners, so be aware.
Oh, okay.
But there's two that students definitely will visit, which is Another and Sun and Moon. So
And girls get in free.
Girls get in free, and sometimes
Yeah,
you get
that's what I
free
heard,
drinks
yeah.
as well. It's like a
Estonia
whole
got
thing.
better. Okay. Okay, I've heard that you went to Busan in Japan, but did you travel somewhere else, like nearby countries?
I also went to Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
because my parents were there. Well, in SolBridge you have the 5 weeks you can miss basically. Just use it. Go travel. Yeah, it's not that expensive to travel around, and living spaces and everything is actually really cheap there, except Japan because those prices were
Out of hand.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, go to Japan. Osaka is really a good place to go, and from Osaka you can go to Nara and Kyoto and everywhere when you're in Osaka. And in Osaka the prices aren't as bad as in Tokyo.
Okay.
I stayed local in Korea,
course.
but I looked around Seoul and I was looking for more traditional experiences. For example, they have a lot of like those whole old kind of traditional houses, and sometimes they have been turned into like museums and stuff like that, like outside museums. So I enjoyed visiting those a lot. Like it was so interesting to learn about the history, like who lived there and what did they do there and what like purpose did each of the buildings serve. And it was like a very great experience to learn about those things.
But looking back, what was the most valuable lesson you learned during your exchange? What do you think?
Don't be afraid to speak with the locals. For me,
For me, it was that I should have done more research again. Last time when I went to exchange before high school, I also thought do more research. Right now, I thought I made enough research, but I should have learned more about the dormitory conditions and everything like that, because I feel my exchange would have been even better when I wouldn't have been in the dormitory.
Okay.
but I think with the dormitory, there's also not a lot of research like or like sources out there to actually like check it out. It's like very it's not, you cannot find much about it. I think it's not your fault. Like I also tried to look it up before I went there. Like I was curious, like okay, so where am I going? But I couldn't find much. Like I found one Russian YouTube video, but did I understand? Did I see everything? No. So
Like the
You should write to
dormitory,
this person and say that, can you do like subtitles in English?
Subtitles, please.
like about the dormitory, we didn't mention the dormitory rules before. Basically, you had to be back at 11 o'clock in the evening, and there was a room check, and then the dormitory doors were closed until like 5:30 or something.
Oh, so if
like
you go in
5:30.
partying, you cannot come back.
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, you had to party from until morning, which I guess is, you know,
For us,
convenient.
it was okay because we were just dancing, but like there
No,
were
but
like
sometimes you still are like,
Yeah.
oof, tired. You want to
Yeah.
go
But you
home.
cannot go back.
yeah.
Oh, that's
And
nasty.
you can check out from the dormitory like in the weekends how many times you want, but during the week you have like 3 days for a month.
Like in a month, you have 3 days that you can like sign out during like school days.
Yes.
So it's like it's a little bit I would say confusing system, but there's also like a long-term sign out. So if you want to be away more than like 3 days,
it was like during a special like holidays and stuff when you can do a long-term check
you
out.
can also do it like if you I had a friend who did like a long-term sign out. Like I learned about it when I went away that it's even possible, but you can basically the stay has to be longer than like 7 days or something.
Okay.
Like you have to be out of the thingy for 7 days, and you
So
cannot come back
so
because you
looking
have
back,
to.
you would
Yeah.
actually take apartment right now rather than dormitory.
Yes.
Yes. I think that like overall rent prices are not that bad. It was like I think if you look for like a 1 room apartment, it's about like 200 euros a month plus
Yeah.
like utilities which are not that high over there.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I would say that's cheap.
Yeah.
Yes, but finding the apartment or
Can be
the
difficult.
real estate industry in South Korea is difficult to understand and really confusing
Yeah.
and hard.
But like one thing that comes to advantage in like in Daejeon and the region that you basically will be at due to the school and stuff, there is real estate agencies that basically cater to foreigners.
Foreigners,
So
yeah.
they are much easier to contact, and you don't have to pay the translator fee that you would have to pay if maybe in some other
Okay.
cities. So yeah,
Okay.
but you have to be ready for very high deposits. They can be up to like 2,000 and more.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So I understand apartment is one of your like advices that you would give to other students. Is there any else?
I think it would be smart to have some Korean classes before you go. So and also download Naver Map, download Kakao Talk, and download Kakao Taxi.
And Buka check, because you have the D-Money card. Buy that one as soon as possible.
Yes.
And the D-Money card is basically what we have the green card in the
Yeah, okay.
public transport. And
Transportation card.
with Buka check, you can check your balance from your phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very
And-
convenient.
Yeah, and to get to Daejeon actually from the Incheon airport, get a bus, like it's 3 hours, but it's cheaper, and also it's actually faster and easier because you have your bags, you have to take the metro to the Seoul station, then you have to go to you have to travel like 5 floors between like Incheon
Yeah.
airport to the subway, then from the subway to Seoul station are like 5 floors with
That is if you're
escalators.
not gonna take the bus. It's
Yes.
difficult without the bus. Like I
It's a
game,
better bus.
yeah, with the bus it's nice, and the bus, the long distance bus, buses are actually very comfortable. Like we had we paid higher price because the lady was like, oh, so one of them just left, and we had to wait for like 1.5 hours, and we bought like the more expensive one that was the next one, and it was like very comfortable. It had like the recliner seats and
Yeah.
all of that. It was so fun.
And if you like, just pay a little bit more money and take the comfortable buses because it's worth it.
Probably by
Okay.
that time you have already been sitting like in a plane for like 15 hours or so, like, and traveling around. So you're like you're very
You just
tired.
want to land.
You
and
kind of want to
be-
take like your first like actual nap, but so going for a maybe a more expensive bus
Okay.
it's not that, it's like 33,001 or something. So
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else?
I think go for it. Go to Korea. I
Yeah.
would say it's a good experience. It's very good experience actually, and it's gonna, and if you go from like here, then you're gonna see the world from a lot different perspective because you're gonna go to a totally different culture space, like so different. So not only will you like grow your understanding to other people, but also, you know, take things back for you from there as well.
Yeah.
So
I would also say like I am kind of sad that so little people went from my course because they missed out a lot, because one of the best things that EBS offers you is the mobility gap and exchange your exchange semester. And really, like, if you have the chance, just go.
Just go.
definitely go.
Yeah. Thank you today for you both for speaking about your experiences and how great actually South Korea is. So let's hope that more students are not afraid and go. So thank you and bye bye.
Thank you.